I feel like every single girl I've talked to or not has been like, a gangbang would be cool. Hi, I'm Kazumi and I make people really happy. I always say building your confidence is like a muscle. It's something that you work on over time, like day in and day out. It's ultimately like how you view yourself, but how you view yourself is affected by the way people treat you, about like the context of like yourself and where you are and like all of that. I always encourage people to just do whatever makes them feel the best, like whether that's making yourself like look better or feel better, like and taking control of your life. If I had a succinct answer for this, I would be making like $1 bajillion. I always ask people like, what do you want people to say about what you're doing? Sometimes people will just like make content after content, whether it's like safe for work or not safe for work, and there's like no intention behind it. It's not like titillating enough for me to have anything to say about it. It doesn't provide any value. You just need to find like a discussion point that's like makes sense and is relevant to the context of your audience. I feel like it's just having like an open communication about it. I don't like it when people just assume, especially like there's obviously like hardcore in me out there. That doesn't necessarily mean I want to be hardcore and rough with you. So I feel like when I'm in bed with someone and I want to like manage expectations, I feel like I'd only want to be in bed with someone in the first place if I feel like I was comfortable like communicating that. So I look for people who are really good at like expressing what it is that they like and they don't like and reading the room. I just ask more questions. I try my best to figure out like what the root of it actually is, and I try to find a compromise. At the end of the day, it's not me versus them, it's just whether or not this relationship is going to work out. If this relationship is something that is important to me that I want to work on, then I will get to the bottom of it and I will find like a solution that works for the both of us. I don't know, I get rejected all the time. I feel like rejection just isn't that big of a deal. I don't think rejection is like a reflection of like my self-worth or like, you know, my value or my esteem. It just means that it's not for me. You know, when I was like much smaller and I wasn't getting the opportunities I wanted at like as easily as I do now, like for example, like if I wanted a collab or if I wanted like to be on Fleshlight or if I wanted to work with Vixen, which are things I've since did, you know, there probably was a period of time where they would have said no to me and I would have like tried to figure out why. Like maybe I'm not big enough or maybe I'm not the look they want. Then I would make those adjustments to reach that plane, and then once I'm there I would revisit that conversation. Sex should be fun. I always like view sex as play. I don't see it as like an act of dominance. I don't see it as a way to like add value to my self-esteem or anyone else's. It's just something that's fun, you know. If it matters a lot when it matters a lot, it doesn't matter when it doesn't matter. You should only have sex with people that respect you, and that's just the base of it. You know, I always talk to guys and they always like say something stupid like, you're such a breath of fresh air, I've never met a girl like you. And I'm like, bro, you've totally met millions of girls like me that are just not comfortable being themselves around you because you're f***ing weird and you have this weird claim about, you have like this weird prison that you built for yourself. Because I feel like most girls are like me. Like for example, like I feel like most girls really would love a gangbang. As much as they say they don't. I feel like every single girl I've talked to or not has been like, a gangbang would be cool, but they wouldn't feel comfortable saying that to the guys around them because they might shame them or whatever. But I feel like if the gangbang had like perfect conditions, like the guys were all hot and respectful and clean and tested, run it. When you know your partner, you know what it would take to appreciate them, like you know their love language. I always make it a point to especially like verbally express it, you know, whether I feel like it's like overdone or not, I'm going to let them know like, hey, it matters a lot to me that you did that. And I really, really, really appreciate it because it made my life so much easier, or like, you know, I just felt really good about it. I feel like, especially like as a woman, I don't know if like as many people like are less afraid to express like, hey, like really appreciate that you did that instead of just assuming that that is just a thing that would happen. If you got homies, I feel like that's the easiest way. I don't know, I just ask. But maybe like that's just like something that comes easily to me. For threesomes specifically, just because like I personally don't like threesomes, I always tell people, especially couples, like you should just like stimulate the economy and like buy like a hooker, like because I feel like it might be unethical to like look for a unicorn if that's like not like that girl's exact like cup of tea, like, you know, to become like just this fantasy and like service you guys just for the thrill of it all. I feel like if you're like looking for a sexual experience specifically and it's not something that's easy to find, there's no shame in just buying it. The future of sex work is very murky because of the advent of AI and the fact that we are going to have to like live with it and kind of like just get used to it being a presence no matter what is like definitely like, I wouldn't say a cause of concern because I personally feel like AI is a great tool. It's a great thing that like we can learn to coexist with just the same way like people learn to coexist with things like the internet. But I do feel like people are going to hopefully always like value like human connection and like real stories and real people and like following real journeys. And so I feel like the independent content creator is always going to be king. I don't know if mainstream studios are ever going to be as powerful as they did before things like OnlyFans, because at the end of the day, people want to follow people and not companies.